website via the smartphone, guess what it can actually do a lot better than if they were coming to it via their laptop or desktop? They can call. Or they can actually find a map or directions to your actual brick and mortar store or your office. So think about that. If you are designing for mobile, maybe now your strong call to action is call us or come visit us. Or, and last, again, sorry, I keep on going down. Second part, simple, clear navigation links, right? Now, this is something I'm slightly guilty of, and I've said this before in the past when I do talks, but I've inherited my mum's fat thumbs. Love her to bits, but I really have. So whenever I'm on my smartphone, mobile, I'm always accidentally, you know, pressing on links and tabs that I shouldn't be pressing on because of my fat thumbs. So do you consider, when you are designing, for people like me, please, right? Streamline form fields, again, time sensitivity. We're on mobile phones. So maybe all you need is my name and my email address, as opposed to my name, my house address, my height, my blood type, etc., and optimize for small screens. Make it responsive. You guys, just by show of hands, anyone familiar with the term responsive? Brilliant. I can skim through that. You all do. Excellent. Now, the question you're probably asking is, well, Ade, how do I then know if the site that I'm designing, or redesigning rather, is mobile friendly? How do I know if it's fit for purpose? Well, Google has given you a great, great platform, a great software that's absolutely free that allows you to test how mobile friendly it is. Hopefully the Wi-Fi is good. Let's see. Test, and it's called Test My Site, Think with Google. Yay. Gotcha. Anyone got a web address I can type in? Someone hit me. Anyone want to be on a firing line? Hello, sir. www.shrub. Okay. Coop. Yep. .org. Is that right, sir? Yep. Okay, let's go. You're coming to the firing line. I like it. Dun, dun, dun. So again, this is absolutely fantastic, where you can type in your URL, or if you're a little bit nosy, type in the competitors. And what you can do is see exactly how mobile friendly and how quick your website actually loads up. So right now in Safari as mobile friendliness, not bad. 97 out of 100. But I dare say the speed from a mobile user's perspective isn't great, nor is it great for desktop. Now guess what? Google giving you or arming you with as much information for you to be able to fix it. So now we've gone into the mobile speed section. If I click and see what to fix, boom. You can actually print out this report. So if you yourself, unfortunately, aren't a developer, but you know the person who did develop your website is around, you can print out this report and say, hey, can you fix this to make sure it's singing and dancing? Because let's not all beat around the bush. We do want to be in favours with the best search engine out there. And no, it's not Bing, and it's not Ask Jeeves. Okay, guys, so that's like pretty much the best practices and the really essential fundamentals for you to actually have a great user-friendly website and optimize your website. Now, the second part we're going to talk about is gain consumer insights and find new customers. Quick question. How many of you guys here are tracking what users are doing when they visit your site? Just by show of hands. Yeah, not often a lot of people. Right. So Google has a free tool called Google Analytics. But like any analytics software, what it predominantly does, it allows you to have a complete picture of who your users are when they visit your site or your platform. I'm going to quickly show you a video, which is one of my favorite videos, on how costly it really truly can be if you don't know what your users are doing when they visit your site. I mean, like, it's almost, you guys all have, I guess, neighbors, friends who sometimes visit you, right? At home? I hope so. I hope I'm not offending anyone. You would never lose track of them, right? You would never go, oh yeah, welcome to my house, and just, yeah, you guys do your thing. You'd always like be hospitable, just see what they're up to and what they want, and hopefully you can service that. So let me play you this video to show you how costly it can be if you lose track of what your customers are doing.
Hey, just that, thanks.
You sure?
Yeah.
Username?
Oh, Nick M?
No.
NM1983?
No.
Zandy Post?
Sorry.
Is Andy Pops?
No, OK. Don't worry, I'll help. What's your postcode?
Oh, it's a GU749ZT.
Welcome back, Nick Forever.
Okay.
Please listen carefully to this bread licence agreement before continuing with your purchase of a loaf of bread. If you do not, blah, blah, blah. You also agree not to use any bread-based products for any purposes prohibited by United Kingdom law, including without limitation, design, development, manufacture of missiles, chemical, nuclear or biological weapons.
Tick.
I'm afraid you've timed out.
What? Sorry. Hello? Excuse me. Oh, yeah, hey.
Just one loaf, sir.
Yeah, we just...
What's your username?
It's Nick Forever, but number 4, not the...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
OK, I'm just going to check that you're a real person. Could you say that for me?
That's not even a word.
OK, how about this one?
You know what, forget it.
Or this one?
Hippo Potter Nice.
You're in.
Great, I'm in.
£8.85.
It's supposed to be 98 pence.
Plus express delivery.
What's that?
Oh, well, it's express delivery. It's fast. So there's, standard.
Standard.
Standard delivery, that's £4.99.
Why?
Bread insurance. You didn't untick the don't decline bread insurance option.
You know what, I think I'll risk it.
It is quite close to the sell-by date.
Don't care.
98 pence it is. If you want to pop back in 5 business days, it'll be ready for your collection.
Well, I need it now, obviously.
Oh, OK. You want the take-home today price? Well, that's £3.27.
You know what, I'm going to go.
Come back soon.
I won't.
Dear customers, this call will be closing in 10 minutes. Please proceed to the checkout. Please proceed to the checkout. Thank you.
Shopping online is meant to be easy. I love the way it actually ends when it goes, come back soon, and he's like, I won't. How many of you guys have suffered, hopefully not to those extremities, something like that when you visit websites, possibly even your own, I dare say? Right, gotcha. So with Google Analytics, the greatest thing is it really, truly allows you to paint a complete picture of what your users are doing, exactly whether it's in line with your business goals, because remember I said have a clear purpose and goals for why you actually have your website. And the greatest thing with analytics is that you can start tracking and measuring. I think one of the greatest adages of consultancy is whatever can be measured can be managed. And the greatest thing with online, every single click, every single action can be measured and therefore can be managed. Now, how does Google Analytics really work? The greatest thing is that, forgive me, there is a slide. We normally have a deck, a Google Analytics deck, which is really quite comprehensive and quite deep because this as a tool is really, really powerful. So there is a presentation standalone on it. But does many of you know how to start tracking? Okay, brilliant. So if you jumped on like the Google search engine and typed in Google Analytics, what you have to do is register. If you have a Gmail account, brilliant, you're already on there. And then what you want to do is, as a user, you want to start creating your own, they call it properties. Now, that's just a jargon for, say, website. Now, once you assign a property, so i.e. whatever your website might be, which is www. I believe it was something Shroobs, sir, was it? I can't remember. Point is, once you have that as a property, you'll then be given a unique tracking ID, which is pretty much a JavaScript code. Now, what you need to do is embed that JavaScript code on every web page you want tracked. Usually, depending on how you've built your site, and normally a web developer might have built it on open CMSs, which are known as content management systems, like WordPress, Squarespace, Wix. Those are normally the 3 big players in web builds. Usually, they actually allow you to insert that JavaScript code that's unique to your property, either the header or the footer. Reason being is because that's actually usually the way it's... How many times am I going to use the word usually? Anyway, word count. That is how the house, or rather the framework, is coded. Because in the header or footer, regardless of what web page, they normally are the same. Am I right in saying that? So, now that you've embedded that code, start tracking. And when I say start tracking, that's actually done automatically, so you don't need to worry about that. But start trying to create an audit, a weekly, maybe a fortnightly, maybe even a monthly, of what your users are doing and how it's aligned to your business goal. Now, one of the business questions, or several of the business questions that you might have is, well, who are my visitors? Well, the greatest thing, ooh, I've got a laser, haven't I, guys? I usually don't get a laser, so hey. Yes, okay. So, who are my visitors? Now, this is what the dashboard looks like. I don't know if you guys can actually make that out, but this is an audience segment where it pretty much gives you a demographic. of your audience. It lets you know whether or not they're male, females. It lets you know roughly how old they are. It lets you know where they're coming from geographically, right? Location, even like from cities. If they are new versus returning, which can be quite important, especially if you're continuously giving up-to-date information about your nonprofit, your charity business. It'll be quite nice to know that people are actually really enjoying the content that you provide. Another question that you might ask is, well, how do they find me? Do forgive, we haven't actually for some reason screen grabbed it, but there's an acquisition section in the dashboard. And this is really, really interesting because what it does, it lets you know whether or not it's coming from organic searches, so maybe certain keyword phrases that people are typing on Google or Bing or Ask Jeeves or any of those search engines. It'll let you know if they're coming from social, like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever social media platforms your business might be on, or it will literally tell you the direct URL. You may potentially be surprised that there could be someone or an individual that's really driving quite a lot of traffic to your website, which then you could potentially reach out to them and say, thanks for all of this traffic. Is there some way we can collaborate and raise the profile? Now, this is probably the most critical questions, is what are they doing on my site? Again, I need to reiterate, if you remember what your objectives are and your goals are for your site, you can really find that out. Now, a lot of times, there's 5 business goals, really and truly. You might be in e-commerce. You might be an online information where you just want people to gain access to your content. You might actually want people for brand awareness. You might use your site for brand awareness, so you want to make sure it's shared socially. It's shared just throughout the World Wide Web. You might want also to use it from a data acquisition perspective, where you might have a sales department, so you get people to sign up to your newsletters or sign up just to receive any up-to-date information. The greatest thing is, again, forgive us, but there is a goal-setting template based off the most common goals for websites. And what that does, it allows you to then put a monetary value on an action. So giving you context, imagine your goal was to try and data capture, try and get, my details. The moment I, Ade, at google.com, signs up, hopefully I have a thank you very much for signing up, Ade. Once that page loads, you can say that is worth X. So guess what? Over a week, over 2 weeks, over a month, you can start seeing how much and the return of your investment. Does that make sense, guys? Am I losing you guys? How are we? We all good? I'm so needy, aren't I? Just guys are like, okay, brilliant. So, path to success. I've now got, thanks guys for this, I'm now all excited. So set up your website, which we all have, right? Majority of us don't have any tracking. So start tracking, collect the data. Like I mentioned, that's the easy part. Why? Because it's done automatic. But really start getting those goal templates involved. So you can start understanding and measuring those insights and start taking action. Because fundamentally, Google Analytics allows you to understand what's working, so you can do more of it, and do less of what's not working. And just keep reiterating, because fundamentally that's what marketing is, right? You always keep on trying to get better. So we're in our last stretch. Boost your social, guys. Social presence and content. So, remember I said in the beginning there's 2 ways to have a presence online, your own designated site, and the other is actually being part of another web platform. Well, guess what? There are a plethora of platforms like social, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Snapchat, WhatsApp. I mean, you name it, guys. They just keep on popping up, don't they? All right? Possibly, you might actually be selling an e-commerce, or you might want to sell products or merchandise that your company does. So you might be on a marketplace, eBay, Etsy, not on a high street, Amazon.com. Or you might just want to provide frequent information on a regular schedule, so you might be part of a blog site network. Or, and this is something I highly, highly recommend, guys, if the majority of you have a brick and mortar store, then do try and get yourself on review sites. How many of you actually are on review sites, just by interest? Okay. Is anyone familiar with what this is? No? You are, sir. Brilliant. Okay, guys. So this is called Google My Business. Again, it's a free tool that Google's given to business owners, because it knows that usually 4 out of 5 searches are very much local in nature, right? Like, where is my nearest pizza joint? What time does my local kebab close, etc. And Google knows by giving full autonomy to a business owner or internal members of staff, they will be able to provide the most up-to-date and relevant content and information about said business. Now, again, I'd like to just show you a quick live example of what this Google My Business looks like. Does anyone have a local business that I can look at? I can just type in? Anyone? Okay, well, anyone? Fine. So this is my favorite, in fact, because I'm in Scotland, whoops, forget. This is one of my favorite restaurants by where I live locally. Can you see this on the right-hand side? All of that, that is Google My Business. Now, can you see how it allows you, well, once you actually sign up to it, absolutely free again, all you need is a Google account, it will allow you to create your blurb, really fully, truly put your address and your opening times, and also allows you to monitor reviews and actually, you know, respond to reviews. But one of the best things, and this is arguably anyway, from my perspective, one of the best things is, how many of you guys have used Google Maps where it's actually sent you to the middle of the ocean or somewhere? All right? Don't tell me you swam, because again, as you heard from David, I'm trying to learn how to swim, so I did not do that. But my point is, Google Map isn't as accurate. Regardless, it's trying to get as much information about your business, and so it sort of guesses where you are. But the greatest thing is, the moment you actually sign up on Google My Business, you can pinpoint that pin to the front door of your business. So if you do have a brick and mortar, I highly recommend going on Google My Business, filling that out fully, and really, really using it to its max. So, I'm sure you guys, has there already been a social presentation today, guys? Yeah? Are you all socialed out? No? I don't know. Because I'm hoping I'm about to regurgitate some statistics, which I'm sure you guys already know. But the truth of the matter is, the UK consumer very much lives on social. Do you know roughly how many of us there are in the UK that are registered or accounted for? I'm hearing, there's around 65 million of us, around 60 to 65 million of us, give and take 5 million, right? And so if you look at that, 42 million are on social media. And when I say that we're active, I don't just mean that they have an account. I mean, they are literally telling you what their little boy just did in the morning, what the cat was saying, because the cat can speak. They are very much active, right? So if you know that, then there's a great expression where it's like fish where the fish are. Now, and as a business, when it comes down to social, this is probably one of the best entries and one of the best ways for you to start nurturing your business and really start engaging with your potential customer, your potential donors, your potential consumers. So, best practices, and again, I'm sure you guys have all heard this already today, really and truly, where are they? Do you know what the greatest thing is? A majority of social media platforms really can only survive by having a big user base. They want you to be on their platform. So they're going to give you best examples and case studies of businesses that have really thrived and, you know, nourished on their platform. Is that fair to say? So if you were to ever type on Facebook, like Facebook case studies, business case studies on charities, say for instance, you'll see a plethora of definitely usually Facebook-owned material of saying what charities have done on their platform. Similarly with LinkedIn, similarly with any other platform you might think to use. Now, there is a caution I would actually always say when it comes down to social media. It's like a needy child, really and truly. You need to continuously monitor it, and you need to be very, very open and vulnerable and human, because you can be David versus the Goliath, but you can also say, you know what, I like to put my feet up on a weekend. You all have 9 to 5s. Just because you're going to tweet me at 4 a.m. on a Sunday doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to respond. Or maybe it's something that you have in place. You have, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe you do have things in place that can respond to people who tweet at you at 4 a.m. on a Sunday morning. So, where are they? Find out where they are. Again, look at the case studies. You can always think that. What do they do? Well, how do they like to be communicated? Because again, you know how they use the term conversation? But let's think about it realistically. There's no point in me having a conversation with you if all I'm ever doing is telling you about myself. And I know we've all got one of that friends who we don't really like to hear from because they're always telling us about themselves. Likewise, let's be real, you are talking to people after all, right? So, Again, think about how you can position yourself and share information that's of value to your audience and not necessarily always sell and talk about yourself. By all means, do talk about yourself once in a while, but again, try and see what you can create to make it very valuable that the user really wants to hear from you. Last but not least, who do they follow? Guys, you've heard the expression, stand on the shoulders of giants? Can you see I love my expressions? So sometimes when I do this accidentally in universities, they're like, Ade, forget it. Right, so stand on the shoulders of giants so you can see further. So these are what we call social media influencers. And there's a plethora of social media listening tools which comb the likes of Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and whatnot to determine who your social media influencers are within your sector. Now, I hope everyone here backs themselves in the quality of their brand, their service, their product, whereby you can go to a social media influencer and say, hey, I know you serve our large audience, but I think if you used or if you spoke about my product, they would also really value it as well. Am I making sense here, guys? Brilliant. Okay. Now, I'm not going to tell you about content because obviously you guys pretty much know it. You're the experts. But please do try and ensure that whenever I do go on any of your social media platforms, I mean, how many of you guys here have a Facebook page? Yeah, brilliant. How many of you guys have a LinkedIn page for your business? Brilliant. Twitter? See, already you've got the top 3. Right, so if I accidentally, which happens to be the case a lot of the times when you're on social, where you serendipitously or stumble upon a brand, right, I need to make sure there's a consistency with it. You need to keep it very relevant, like exactly what it is you do. This is a great example, Give Me Tap, right? Every bottle purchased gives a person in Africa 5 years of clean drinking water. Watch our documentary, Journey of the Bottle, here. Great call to action, but you know what? I stumbled upon it and I know exactly what their mission is. Again, think about that. Be pithy and clear. And if I was to go on their LinkedIn site or their Facebook, I can bet you that that's exactly going to be the blurb as well. And there's going to be a consistency with branding. Because you all know how we do. I mean, how many of us have traveled to foreign lands and we try and look for familiarities? We buy rich teas, we buy Cadbury's biscuits, where we're like, hey, because we know we're going to have that assured quality. That's simple branding. Again, keep it clear and consistent, but show your personality and have fun. I can't stress enough, you are David, potentially within the Goliaths of your industry. You can really just, be human and say, sorry, we messed up, or yes, we're going to get back to you at a certain time, or whatever it may be. Oh, apologies. So, guys, how many of you, just out of curiosity, know about Facebook's fundraising non-for-profit scheme? Yeah, brilliant. You've raised your hand for everything. I really feel like I need to give you the T-shirt so you can come and teach. Well, the greatest thing about Facebook is that it's really trying to ensure or do its power to help social good causes. And so it allows you, from a donate perspective, there's a great button that allows you just to donate then and then. So there's a nice sync and easy way for people to be donating to your charity and your cause. What about LinkedIn? There's a non-profit arm for LinkedIn where it allows you to recruit volunteers or even any form of job opportunities at a discounted rate. I think it's like 10% the normal standard rate of when you are putting out job posts. But again, when it comes down to all of these major social media platforms, they really do want your business, but they also want to help, or they want to be at least seen helping. So do have a little, Google search on non-profits for these social media platforms. Now, guys, before we do get into video, I just thought it would be quite nice for me to show you a quick video on how someone has utilized the second largest search engine, which is YouTube, which is obviously second to, you guys know the first, yeah? Just gonna throw it out there, just saying. No, so they share the same algorithms and whatnot, and I'll explain that a little bit better after this video.
I'm Tricia Kasdan and I'm founder and managing director of Look Fabulous Forever. I founded the company in October 2013 and we make makeup which is specifically formulated for older eyes, faces and lips. I was semi-retired and I kept thinking, do you know what, I would really love to start a company which was around makeup, and I felt there was a gap in the market because the traditional beauty industry really doesn't take much notice of older women. I made video tutorials and put them onto YouTube as an experiment. Initially, I thought older women don't watch videos on YouTube, and how wrong was I? We suddenly started to get 1,000 views a day, sometimes more than that, and our business just took off. In the first month of this year, we've had 17,000 visitors to our website, 1,000% increase in the same period last year. We've had orders from as far afield as Hawaii, Alaska and Saudi Arabia. And seeing women go from looking quite ordinary to being really beautiful is just incredibly satisfying, and I love it.
Did I hear someone go, ah? Okay, so let's talk about the power of video and YouTube. How many guys, again, remember, try and make this interactive, just by show of hands, how many of you guys in the last 48 hours, we give it 2 days, has watched a video online? Keep them up if they're on mobile, just by interest. Brilliant, still all of you predominantly. Did you guys share it? How many of you shared it to colleagues, friends, family? Okay, about roughly half of that. That was an important exercise just to showcase that digital video viewing in 2016 is up. It's 63% of our major consumption. In fact, I read statistically, 3/4 of the world's data is going to now be video by 2020. So if you aren't using video right now to help grow and impact your business, please do. Now, let me explain why. The greatest thing with video is that it really allows you to start being positioned as a thought leader. How many of you guys, or do you guys potentially know what the most common search phrase is on YouTube? Yeah, so I heard someone say how to, right? Brilliant, there you go. So it's how to X. Again, guys, you have a business you're putting out to the marketplace because you believe in your cause, because you believe in what you do. So you can teach, you can educate, you can even entertain. I think there's an actual amalgamation of those words. Is it edutainment or something like that? Yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm right in saying that, am I? There's an amalgamation of education and entertainment. Yeah, right? And greatest thing is videos, especially how-tos, you can start positioning yourself as thought leaders. But again, as we've illustrated, video really is shareable. It's something we love to do. We love to share it because we watch it and we consume it on a regular basis. And I think this is one of the best and major important lessons is I tend to get a lot of people asking me questions, particularly when I ask anyone got questions or they approach me afterwards and they go, yeah, we do X, but often whenever we type that in YouTube or wherever, there are other videos that supersede us. There are other videos that come up in the rankings a lot better than us. And I'm like, okay, brilliant, but have you ever considered reaching out to them and seeing how you can collaborate in any shape or form, even if it's by them doing a review on your cause, on your product or whatnot? Because fundamentally, and I think this is where we start limiting ourselves, and I'm not going to get preachy, but there is enough goodwill, there's enough money, there's not a finite amount of money, right, for people and for businesses out there, right? So if we can start establishing potential collaborators, especially when it comes down to just and great causes, God, everyone's going to win. The world is going to be so much better, all right? So, guys, this is the last slide, which I'm going to pretty much explain, and it's going to be another, geez, there's so many videos, but Google actually has a non-profit arm, which is really fantastic, and this video gives you quite a thorough explanation of what it does and what it consists of, and I will then speak about, for those who are legible or their legibility.
Every day, millions of people are online, many of whom want to help, volunteer, and donate to a good cause. Nonprofit organizations can use many Google tools to reach potential donors around the world and raise more money. And as an approved nonprofit, it doesn't cost a thing. It's all free. Google Grants helps you promote your website with free advertising on Google.com through the AdWords program. With Google AdWords, you create ads and choose words or phrases related to your nonprofit organization. When people search on Google using one of your phrases, your ad will appear next to the Google search results under the Sponsored Links section. AdWords allows you to target certain geographic areas, dates, and times of day for your ads to appear. YouTube for Nonprofits is another tool that can boost donations to your organization. The program offers a number of perks that get your message out there and drive viewers to take action and donate. You can list your organization on YouTube's nonprofit and call to action overlays on your videos to drive viewers to donate. Need help analyzing your website traffic and marketing effectiveness? Google Analytics is a free tool that will give you rich insight and help you increase the number of people that visit and donate to your site. Google Analytics can be invaluable to many people in your organization, such as development directors, marketing staff, and your web team. There are many other tools that can help you reach more donors and raise funds, like Google Checkout, where you can process credit card donations with no transaction fee, Google Sites to create a free website, and Website Optimizer, where you can figure out the best landing pages to turn site visitors into donors. To get started, apply for Nonprofits today.
Like I said, guys, a majority of the major digital players are always trying to get as many people on their platforms, and they're especially to be seen as doing socially good stuff, and Google is no different. So, Google for Nonprofit tools, what happens is if you are eligible for it, you are granted a Google Ads grant, now, sorry, forgive me, which means, geez, I don't know how strong the pound is with Brexit and whatnot, but I won't go into that. But you normally get about $1,000 per month to be able to spend on Google ad servers, like display, hello? 10,000? Is it 10,000? I just checked that this morning just to confirm that. Okay, are you on it, sir? Brilliant. Geez, I never even knew that. Oh yeah, no, that would make sense, because otherwise it'll be £60. And I wrote on my note, 600. Apologies. Around £10,000 per month to spend on Google ad servers or Google ad networks, right? You'll also have Google Apps, which is Google Apps for Work for nonprofit. Anyone use Microsoft Office? Right, brilliant. Well, Google Apps for Work is pretty much Google's Microsoft Office version. But the greatest thing is that a lot of it is cloud-based. So it's saved on their cloud servers, and you can collaborate in the most effective. Has anyone used Google Docs? Just out of interest? Oh, brilliant. Okay, so I don't need to explain. Brilliant. Okay. YouTube for nonprofits, once again, you're able to advertise and you're actually able to use a lot more of the functions and features, the buttons, like the Donate Now buttons. And with YouTube, especially video, it's really, really good when it comes down to call to actions. I don't know if you guys know of that, but it really is. Now, insofar as eligibility, I do have a slide, and these are available, once again, I mentioned, to be downloaded, which will give you a thorough list of those who are eligible and who aren't. But this is this is the Google site to actually show a highlight if you can apply for the grant, which I highly recommend, guys, if you have at least a minute just to skim it through. And if you can, definitely apply for it. Just to round up exactly everything I've said today, guys, if you do not have a website, which doesn't go to anyone here because you all do, please do look at the free support that the Digital Garage provides. Is it mobile friendly, your site? Remember that we tested your site, didn't we, sir? Well, it's Google, think with Google, testmysite.thinkwithgoogle.com, right? Are you tracking traffic? Please do track it, because it's imperative that you know what your users are doing when they visit your site and whether or not it's actually aligned to your business goals for your website. And last but not least, have you signed up for Google Nonprofits? At the very least, find out if you're eligible by going to google.com/nonprofits. This is the Digital Garage. I've just given you a tidbit of what is available on that platform. You know, we have a plethora of other digital marketing silos, email, e-commerce, you know, SEO, AdWords, etc., etc. So, without further ado, I did promise the links. It is case sensitive, but it is bit.ly/capitals DG. Oh, you guys can all see, can't you? Right? DGN on profit, I guess, but it's meant to be non-profit. And this is quite interesting in itself. This is Share Your Story. Now, because I don't know if many of you know that this is a free digital skills training platform, as well as the offline delivery of this. So it's absolutely free to bring the likes of myself and other digital trainers to come to your event. But furthermore, if anything that we say has helped, has impacted your business, by all means, please let us know. Reason being is because what we want to do is try and create as many case studies. Do you remember I keep on saying most digital businesses want as big a user base and they want to start creating case studies so people know how to use their platform? Well, if you tell us your story, fingers crossed, we'll be able to bring a video team to come to your business and do a sort of cross promotion for the digital garage. And last but not least, you can find out more about how to get us in our events. And I believe that is it. So this is the slide, by the way, guys. Again, you are able to download it, but just to show if you're eligible. Do I say any questions or do I? Yeah? All right, let me go back to this. So thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Do we have any questions? Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
I think that gentleman in the back can come. Do you want to come to the stage and answer them for me?
Okay, Kevin Hutchins from Langsdane Housing Association. I'm just wondering if you've done any similar presentations to the housing association sector through the Scottish Federation of Housing Associations, because there's lots of links there in terms of the internet. We've got links with our tenants we need to make. We've got links with other housing providers, and I think that it's got great potential if you contact the Scottish Federation of Housing Associations if you haven't done so already.
Okay. I don't think we have, but I dare say, in the grand scheme of the hierarchy, I'm a mere minion. I'm a lemon, so I'll send that up to the powers that be for sure. And I do have my own card as well, if you wanted, not my own card, but the Google Digital Garage card, for you to possibly email me. And then we can take it from there, if that's okay?
Yeah, thanks.
No, thank you. Hey, guys. By the way, I didn't mention it, but we do have, if you do have any feedback, there is the Digital Garage hashtag. So by all means, please let us know what you thought about the presentation. We're always trying to make it as valuable and useful to you guys. And don't feel like you need to say anything about the presenter himself. Unless it's positive, because I still like my job and I'd like to still put food on the table. So, yeah. No, but once again, guys, I know it's the last seminar, so thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Thank you, Addy. Well, that was a great run through of all the kind of practical things that we can do online to support our third sector organisation. I think one of the things that stuck out for me is, lots of people ask, how do we do this? Okay, so we can talk about it, but how do we actually do this? You said the most popular search on YouTube was how to. There's lots of resources out there. There's like you said, you pointed to the guidance that tells us how to do things. So if you've got really interested in something today from the presentation, like Google AdWords, like developing YouTube videos, these things don't need to take a lot of money to do. They do need to take your time. You need to invest the time to research how to do it yourself. So there's no kind of quick and easy solution that somebody can come along and just say, there you go, it's free, and it's the perfect solution for you. You need to invest your own time and maybe a little bit of money, but not often a lot of money into doing some of this stuff. So please do look up the resources that are available to do this. Just in rounding up, thank you for all staying to the bitter end before heading back out into the snowstorm outside. I felt it's been a great day, but I'm biased. Hopefully you'll give us some feedback, tell us what's been good, what we can improve for next year, whether doing more digital stuff, less digital stuff, what would be more helpful in the future. Certainly there's been a lot of buzz around the room and there's the one-to-one kind of discussions. So what topics would you like more information on? Please let us know at the SCVO digital team. We started today talking about leadership and what that means in a digital world. We then talked about some innovation and the charities that are innovating using digital technology to improve outcomes. And fundamentally, that's what the leadership session was talking about as well, that it's not about technology, it's not about having a website for the sake of having a website or a Twitter account for having a Twitter account. It's actually about what are you trying to achieve through that, for who? Is it about getting more funding? Is it about getting more communication to your service users? Is it about sharing the impact of what you're doing? What is it you're trying to achieve by using all this technology? And that's crucial, because everything about digital it should be about the people and the outcomes that we're trying to achieve first, not just doing something because it's the latest bit of technology and something exciting. That's what I do when I line up at the Apple Store for the new iPhone every time it comes out. Oh, sorry, I mean Google Android phone every time it comes out. We've had lots of practical support and advice today. Hopefully you found that useful. Please do share your, we're open and transparent about feedback. That's what we're on. So go on to GoodHQ, search for SCVO, and share your thoughts on today. Positive things we could improve on. We would really love to hear what you think. So thank you very much for your time. Hope you have a safe journey home. There are some soft drinks up the back. The hard drinks are at the bar. And we hope you have a safe journey home. Thank you very much.